Hey Simon, how you doing?
Hey Gene, what's up in your neck of the woods?
I'm kind of disgusted, and that's why I call on you. I think some of the veterans are gonna have to see how we feel, and hopefully they can get the same momentum going too, and trying to express their thoughts and how confused they are with this administration. You and I talked a lot about the oil, and hey, you got a very good point there. This is all a made up thing because from what we can see right now, the control of oil is not by some other country, it's by our own country. Am I correct?
True dollar.
Yeah, no, you're right. I can tell you that I think we can call that a fact that I think most of the veterans that I know have share a similar opinion that this country is being run by an old man that can no longer think for himself and has a vice president and that probably never finished third grade, I guess. So we're in poor shape, I think, and I don't foresee that much of a bright tomorrow for that reason. Everything is going. It's all about money. You know what I'm saying? If we want to spend all that money elsewhere, why can't we spend it on? Well, why don't we go ahead and invest in the lives of those veterans that gave beyond what they were asked to? Okay, if they asked us tomorrow, hey guys, pack up your bag. We're going to Ukraine. I got my backpack ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be a reciprocal kind of connection there. If I go and I get killed, I would expect, my family to be, to be taken care of. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but there's a word that we've been using quite often, especially in your book, that illustrates how our VA is not really doing things by the rule of law, and that's the illusion of truth. Now, with the illusion of truth goes a lie of omission, and that's what I think that Biden's regime is placed on us, and we're not really recognizing those words. Those words are very destructive, especially to our country, and he's doing it to other countries too. The meeting he had today over there in Poland and went into Ukraine. All this is a theatrical or a movie to induce an illusion of who that man is.
Well,
He's
yeah,
so incompetent. He's very
it's
incompetent.
orchestrated. The whole thing is orchestrated. Okay,
Right.
between the radical left, because I think the people in the middle, I don't think they feel that way about this country, but it's the radical left that is allowing this to happen. Okay, and the bad thing about it is the media is responsible for everything that has gone wrong with this country. The media has. Now, if I saw the headline today that that there was bombing, we're in Poland or wherever he might have been. He was 245 miles away from where those bombs were coming. But they made it sound like it was, they were falling right in his backyard, which is not true. They embellish, okay, and that's what they do. They make things up. Not that they don't make them up, but they like you're saying, the illusion of truth. Okay, they want you to believe something that is not true. The bigger the lie, the more susceptible people are going to try to accept it as truth. And that's what's happened. Look around. Everybody supports Ukraine.
That's a good point. And I think Ukraine, the people of Ukraine, if they're seeing what's happening and his promises of what was supposed to be shipped out and has been taking a while, grant you, I think they're getting some of it now, but it was taking a long period of time for them to get that promise that Biden said, the check is in the mail. All you have to do is just wait. But don't call me. I'll call you if you don't get it.
Yeah.
And that's what's leaving these poor people over there in Ukraine. I don't care who says what about the president. I think he's done a tremendous job there holding back Putin, and Putin can't handle that, But the whole thing is Biden is not the guy that's running the show. He's only there on stage because they plan him there. It's the same thing like Harris. It's a joke. It's a complete joke.
They're just puppets. That's all there is. Now, how many people have left Ukraine?
3 million or better right now.
I think it's over 3 million people.
Yeah.
Have left
Almost 2 million are in Poland.
It's still over 3 million now.
Yeah.
And
2 million, 2 million is in Poland right now, and there's more. They want to go back to Poland. They want to go to Poland so they can go back to their country. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but according to Biden, let 100,000 of them come in. They don't want to come here. They're not like everybody that's crossing the borders between Mexico and the United States. They want to go back to their own country. They got fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, wives. They want to go back. They want their own country.
Let me get to my point.
Biden can't see that.
Let me get to my point. So now, as of yesterday, I think, based on the report, you can't believe the media what it is, okay? But they're claiming that 3 million have evacuated Ukraine, and they're saying that a lot of them are children. All right, children. Now, Biden is sending what, $1 billion in aid to who? What's the population of Ukraine?
Oh gosh.
I don't know. That's I don't know if you know.
It's almost the same size as Russia.
No, I think it's smaller, isn't it?
Smaller?
I don't know, but that my point is this, Gene, is that if people are leaving or leaving Ukraine, okay, so where is that money going to? The $1 billion that we're going to send over there? It's supposed to be for to help
humanitarian.
For food and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But people are still struggling out there. I don't know. They're still.
I think the reason that they're starving because it's initially the money can be there, but it's grasping to organize what they have to get. And I think eventually they're going to get it if somebody doesn't do an underhanded job and pull the money somewhere else. But they need the weapons to fight with. They need the food. They need the water. But those weapons are very, very important. When I was in Vietnam, when you was in Vietnam, we seen what mass destruction, what the Viet Cong could do. There's a lot of people that don't even know what a war is like, but they can imagine so many different things and come up with opinions and all that. But really, they have to know what war is. In order to win, you got to have the tools. Biden is not doing what I thought the man was going to do. When he promised them all these things, but yet no planes, those MiG-29s. Poland, if they want to give it to you, yeah. Poland doesn't want to give it to them right off the bat because they don't want a third world war. We don't want a third world war, but we're already giving them the Stingers, we're giving them javelins, we're giving them the drummer, the kamikaze drums. Yeah. No, I'm messed up on that. The thing behind it is give them the weapons that they can use now. I'm kind of fed up by I really am disgusted. I really am disgusted that Biden had the opportunity to flex his muscles. He flexed it with Trump when he says, we take boys and put them behind the school and we take care of them, blah, blah, blah. Or I can do these many push-ups. Who really cares? But if you got the balls to say that, Biden, do what you got to do. But he's scared. he was scared today to say anything against Putin, but yet he said to him, "We got to get rid of you." And man, the press didn't like that. The Washington didn't like that. But yet, the press gets eliminated by the left if they say something wrong. They get them off of Twitter. They get them off Facebook. They do everything they can do to these people, but they still exist in what they want to say, and everything that they say is wrong.
Remember what I said earlier, that the media was responsible for all the proliferation of false information. Okay, we hear what they want us to hear.
Mhm.
Okay, and well, I don't know if it's true or not anymore. I don't believe a word that gets reported, and I don't care who reports it. You know, by the way, Gene, 43 million people live in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Got it? 43 million. So, I mean, I say it this way, Jane. We as a country, what have we done in the last over 200 some odd years? We have built our army, we have built our navy. You know, we've done things to improve our national defense, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So why hasn't Ukraine done the same thing?
Yeah,
Nobody helps us.
I couldn't answer that. Why hasn't other countries equipped themselves with all the necessary tools to fight a war? Why? You know, I can't answer that. I could just say this much. Biden is like that joke that I told you about the woman that went in the jewelry store. She looked at this bracelet and she was so stunned that she farted. You know, and she looks around and she's still looking at this guy comes up behind her, asks her, says, "What are you doing?" Says, that's fantastic. You know, I can't believe it, but you know, you have to excuse, I just farted. He says, "Well, you're going to shit when I tell you the price." And that's exactly what Putin is telling Biden. Biden, read this. He gets so stunned. You know, Biden is known for farting all over the place, especially on Air Force One. And he looks at it, and then Putin gets him on the back and goes, "Hey, Biden," says, "What? What do you think?" He says, "I'm just stunned." "Well, you're going to shit when you see what I'm going to do to you."
You know
And
what?
that scares him. That scares him.
You know the scary thing about this whole thing? When the reporter asked him, what if Russia uses chemical weapons? What if they use nuclear bombs?
He used
what
that
did he
word
say?
K-I-N, K-I-N-D, kind.
But you know what he said? He said, "Well, we will respond in kind."
In kind. In
You know
kind.
what that means? You know what that means?
That means we're supposed to respond with the chemical weapons from our side, right?
If somebody gives you something that's not money, that's in kind. The in kind donations. They gave you service. They gave you something. It wasn't money, but it was the value of money through something that was given to you, and maybe it's a service. Okay. So to me, when it says that, well, we're gonna respond in kind.
In
To
kind.
me, it's like, what? Are we gonna give them nuclear bombs? Is that in kind? We're gonna give them something so they can use against Ukraine?
Well, you know, you got a point there, because in the very beginning of that invasion, when they asked him about Russia coming in, he says, "Oh, that's all right. They can take a little portion of that." He was willing to let Russia go in, Biden, into Ukraine. But then that went all hush up afterwards. That was another mistake that Biden did. And the other mistake was saying that the Air Force was going to go into Ukraine.
Now, I know you and I have a difference of opinion on corruption. Corruption is rampant throughout the globe. Okay, and if you want to prove corruption, okay, if you were the president of a country, all right, and somebody was, for example, with a Biden, you know, they received all millions of dollars, okay, for something that they never did, right? So, and this was the corrupt politics in Ukraine. You think the president or whoever that runs the country wouldn't know about that? If he was a president?
He knew exactly what's going on. He knew
Exactly my
exactly
point.
corruption. corruption is not just a politics part. Corruption is a legislative part too.
Well, the
And we
corruption,
forget that. We
well,
keep moving through that legislative. Corruption is the people that can't speak because the politicians want to control them.
no, corruption is when politicians take advantage of the country's people and
That's
make them
right.
to believe, and make them believe everything, something different.
Yeah,
I mean, when they take for themselves and do not share among the country, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we're gonna send $1 billion. How much is that is going to people's pockets?
we don't know. But we do know that it's going to go somewhere. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole problem, is that the people that need it probably ain't gonna get it. Now, we're sending weapons and we're sending jet planes. Are we giving that away?
Well, we're not sending them jet planes. We're sending them missiles and all that. You know,
Are we giving-
you look at what we send them and look what
But are we-
Biden is giving the Middle East.
But are we giving that, well, we're giving that equipment for free?
Comes out of our
People
taxes, buddy.
People want us to send equipment to Ukraine.
Mhm.
So, I mean, is the American people blind that they don't know that these weapons that we're gonna send come at a cost? Do you think all these manufacturers of weapons and missiles and whatever, do you think they work for free?
Well, yeah,
I don't think
they
so,
might,
Gene.
they might be naive because it's like this.
They
That
don't work for free. They don't work
the
for free.
monies that came out during the COVID and everybody got a little portion of something there, they think that that's free. That's not free.
It's
That's
not
just
free
like
at
the
all.
weapons that we give to a country to fight a war. Those monies that was given to us because of the COVID, every family received X many. How many families with 5 kids receive what, $10,000, close to that?
Yeah.
Those comes out of our taxes. Somewhere
Well,
along the
most of
line, they're
it-
gonna pay for. Well, here's the other one, Medicare. All these commercials that they got there, Medicare, comes all of our taxes. It's just a way of saying, we're gonna give you something to make you feel good. And as you feel good, don't worry, because we're gonna screw you.
Oh, yeah, well, they're gonna take it off your grandkids and your kids' grandkids and their grandkids, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we're in a hole for what, 23, 24 trillion dollars? And all that money, okay, is not, I think we only collect about 2 or 4 trillion dollars a year in taxes. Now,
Mhm.
people have been out of jobs for a long time, right? For a while, they've been out, no jobs. So if you don't have employment mainstream, okay, if you don't have people working, then how is the government going to collect taxes on jobs that are not being fulfilled or filled? You see what I'm saying?
They do it by giving you something that you have a problem getting and don't have the money to spend for your prescription. So they give it to you in Medicare. You know, that's a big joke, because that's the same thing you're saying about the money that's going to Ukraine. Yeah, we both have difference of opinion, but it's still the same thing. The corruption is the politician. The corruption is the unions. The
Because you and I are not
corruptions are
corrupt.
people that put these people together to try and support something to organize a better future for themselves. But the minute they get the taste of that extra money that they're being given to be a union leader, a legislator, state representative, a politician, all of a sudden they forget you.
Well, of course, the only time they need you or they want you is during the elections.
Yep.
Okay, during a conflict, all of say, oh yeah, these veterans, you know, we have to support our veterans. We have to take care of our veterans. The changes that are coming on by the VA, they're making changes. They're not changes for the good. A lot of people will tell you they can see between all the that white stuff on top of chicken shit. You know what? You know what you call that? Chicken shit.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. But that's what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? And but I mean, I don't understand, for the life of me, I cannot understand why any one person would vote for something that goes against everything else that we believe in, everything that we fought for. It's
I
like
think they,
slapping us in the face.
you know, in some cases, what they vote for is very naive, but why don't we go, why do people vote for individuals that are put in these positions and gonna forget you? Well, one is because we label them. One is a Republican, one is a Democrat. It's like a football team. This team, no matter what they do wrong, whatever they do, I'm gonna make sure that we have enough money to support that. This team is the same way too. So it's about what they want, it's not about what we want. So the politicians are actually the ones that are electing these officials. Their
Yeah,
own.
but they drew it, they do all this stuff through it was a propaganda tool used during World War II. Hitler used that, okay, which was the illusion of truth, okay.
9:21 p.m.
You tell people what they want to hear, and people are gonna buy it, you know what I'm saying? All it
Sure.
takes is one person, and this is psychologically based, you know what I'm saying? If you tell somebody something, and then somebody tells somebody else, by the time it gets to the 10th person or the 20th person, the whole truth has been changed completely. It's no longer the same as it started off with. It's all based on psychology. Okay, and you know this thing about every election time is that, oh yeah, the Republicans and the conservatives, all they want to do, they want to throw your grandmother off the cliff.
Yeah.
They're gonna take away, they're gonna take away your welfare. They're gonna take something away, because or they're gonna use race.
And you shake them up enough they'll do anything you want.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what the part I don't understand. You don't have to. I'm well educated. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm a more than average analyst. You know what I'm saying? When I analyze situations, But then that stuns me is that you have people out there. They're not willing. They're not willing to waive one bit. They'll deny that this country is going in the right direction. The price of gas has gone up. Everything. I went to the grocery store. I bought a couple of stuff. $77.
What'd you buy?
Can't tell you that.
Huh?
Can't tell you that. I bought some. Oh, check. I bought 4 bananas, 2 apples, 1 loaf of bread, some cereal, a little, not a half pint of milk, okay, and what else? A couple of chili microwave things, and I bought some. I don't drink soda, but when my kids come over, I know they have a bottle of soda. They're not that expensive now. Okay, maybe they are. I didn't look at the price, but it was just a handful of stuff. I didn't buy too much. You know what I'm saying, but it was $77.
And that's about right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this stuff probably few years back, it wasn't. I mean, there was a lot of competition. There were competitions in everything. Supermarkets competed with each other on trying to get lower prices for the consumers. I look at the cars. The cars have gone up from last year to this year, more than $14,000 per
Yeah, a
vehicle.
used car costs sometimes more than a new car at times. If
Yeah,
you
what I'm saying.
look at the
And you look
price.
at the cost of homes have increased by 25%.
Mhm.
So and then again, so an average home nowadays is over $200,000. Okay, now the average person, okay, how can they afford such a mortgage payment?
I don't know, but here's a question, Simon. Why do people keep on voting for a program that's no good?
Because you know what?
We see that in the Democratic Party. And I'm a Republican, doesn't matter, but I see it very, very strong in the Democratic Party that they don't care if they're not making it, they'll vote for it. Biden quoted something of all the people that were presidents, they did this and they did that, and they made they was successful. Then he came up to the part of the wall in Russia. He didn't name the individual that told Gorbachev, take down your wall, take that wall down. He
Oh,
wouldn't
the wall
say
in
that.
Russia.
You know, he would not say that. That right there is shows exactly the mentality and the direction that this administration's taken all the Democrats, basically. Now,
But you know
the
what?
Republican, wait a minute, the Republicans all good? Some go
No,
south on us, some goes west on us. But at this point right here, the Democratic Party sucks.
And well, the thing about, remember, you have Republicans, okay? You have Republicans that are more red dog, blue dog conservatives than
Yeah.
they are conservatives.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, one thing about the Democrats, I mean, they're all corrupt to some extent. You know what I'm saying? They all stick together. Republicans, as soon as something changes, they'll switch sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one thing.
They call them rhinos.
And that's the one thing about the Republican Party. Now, I was watching the TV, and there was down in Florida. There's quite a few women, Hispanic women, Latinas, that are running for Congress.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think that right now we're under. You better fly that flag upside down, Gene, because right now, in my opinion, we're under this.
This nation is in distress.
Yes, and because look at this, China. I mean, they're just waiting to invade Taiwan. And oh, Jim, what's his name? A Little Dick, what do they call him? Little Kim, down in Korea. He's been firing missiles like they're going out of style again. So what happened? What happened between a strong president and a weak president is what you get nothing but chaos. The Democratic company, I mean, the Democrat Party runs on chaos.
All the time.
They run on chaos because as long as we have a chaotic chaos in this country, we have chaos in this country. They take advantage of that. Like even Biden. Look at what Biden said.
It's all control.
Look at what Biden said. Biden says, you know what? Instead of saying, oh, these poor Americans are suffering with gas or whatever, you know what he says? You know what? This is an opportunity for green gas thing they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, all this green stuff, let's see. If you have solar, during winters, you don't have sun, right?
Mhm.
And during the seasons, you have too much wind. That might be good for wind power, but then you have the equal imbalance in that because all these birds that are flying through, they get mangled to death. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's a green energy, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. If all these people, all these politicians in the Democratic Party believe so much on the battery thing, you know where our tanks would be after they run out of juice? They'd be still. You know, they want cars to be electric. They want them to be run on batteries. But there's areas that you don't have that opportunity to have a vehicle that's going to run on batteries and give you what you need.
Yeah.
You can't run batteries with water.
You know, I'm just an average guy. You know, Gene. I've worked. Okay, I've always had a job. There was a guy that I saw maybe yesterday. Okay, had a sign on the street that says, "I have 3 kids." Now, this is in San Antonio, right? He's out there, instead of looking for a job or working, he says, I need help because I have 3 kids. You had women down at Walmart looking for money for Pampers. You had a woman, this is all within the last week, you know. Then there was this woman that was asking for gas money, okay? And she was driving one of those RVs.
Yeah.
And she was asking for gas money. Where was she going that she never thought about that you're going to need gas or a place to stay? You know, we take everything for granted, Gene.
Yeah. Go to your leading coffee shop, pay $8 for a cup of coffee, but you can't afford the gas. Go and get your cigarettes and you can't afford the gas. You know, we're speaking the same language here. But I think that this administration is looking very closely and going down the tubes for a little bit because they're going to regroup, and they are the villains of villains. They're going to do everything to change and educate the individual, just like they're doing in school with these kids, and giving them the history and taking away the history and feeding them all this junk on gay and transvestite and all these things. You know, it's a it's a bad thing when you have one party that is trying to change the culture of people.
Well, look at Hitler. What did Hitler do? Okay, Hitler burned all the books. What did during the Iraq War and all this Middle Eastern war? What did they do? They the ISIS and all these other people, wherever they were out there. They were out there destroying history.
Yeah,
They were out there destroying history, just like we don't go out and burn books. Okay, all we do here, because we do it the democratic way, and we just ban them. We don't burn them, we ban them. Okay, we ban books that have been around for hundreds of years, written by authors, that they've written many books, but we don't burn our books. We
no,
just ban them.
but I tell you
We don't
what,
destroy. Check this out. We don't destroy. Hey, we don't destroy. Hey, Gene, we don't destroy our architectural history, right? We remove it.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There's no difference between them and us.
I
We
scan
just
my
ignore it.
I scan my iPhone to find out this word that I want to know where was it created, and it was created in 1598. And I don't think very many people know when it was created. At that time it meant two different things, but we had it in the books, and then in the 60s they took it out of the books, the libraries, the word fuck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, again, like I said,
In
we don't burn them, we
1598,
ban
this
them.
word was put together. Nobody knows, but everybody uses it.
Yeah.
They don't
I
know
mean,
who created it.
I mean, you know that book by Upton Sinclair that we read during school on I think it was the jungle, the meat plant down in Chicago, right? Well, they
Yeah.
banned that book too, and it exposed the meat market, the well, all the meat plants or whatever at the time. You know what I'm saying? Well, they banned that book because it wasn't proper. It insulted somebody. Oh, like you were talking about the other day that in New York State, all the basketball players and all these people can are actors or whatever, they don't have to follow the
They don't
mandate.
have to follow. They don't have to follow the laws for the mask, but the police
Public
department,
servants have to.
everybody else has to.
Public servants have to.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So why? I mean, these people make a lot of money. These guys, they're out of a job. They're gonna be out of a job. For what? I mean, if you're gonna make a law, let it be applicable to everyone. Don't exclude anybody. Like remember when Obamacare came into existence? Well, yeah. Well, the union can be they can be excluded. Why? The law should apply the same to everyone. The healthcare accessibility should be equal to everyone, even the legislators.
Yeah.
Why should they get something better than we do?
They take off with the money that they have gotten by donations for their elections. What do they do with that money after they leave? Where's that money go to? Do they put it in charity or they keep it?
Well,
We don't know that.
there's a procedure for that, so, but then again, they spend money on just about anything, I'm saying. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have, when I say we, because everyone's included, because we try to make changes, okay, to improve ourselves. But there's too much political resistance, okay? And again, 77% of the people will always vote the same way.
Yeah,
And we're hoping that all these people that are coming in from all the 200 some odd countries, that when they come settled in here and get their monies and whatever, that they're going to vote the Democrat. But hey, if you live in a country, if you have left the country for political reasons and you're going to come to the United States, you're going to have the same thing. What are you going to vote for?
well, I tell you what, we already know the influx of illegals, who they're voting for, because that's why the Democrats want them in here so much. I mean, well, we're running out of room. I can't say we're running out of room, but the population is getting so big and so uncontrollable.
Right now,
And we're
there's
having
more.
major problems, but
Well, right
nobody
now there's-
sees it. But let the illegals come in. Is that the only
Right now
problem? Illegals? No, we have our own problems we got to take care of.
Yeah.
Let's law enforce ours, and before we can take care of millions or more.
I mean, look at the people down in Appalachia. I mean, they have poverty out there.
Yeah.
Look at other parts of the country. The kids are starving to death.
Yeah.
Okay, but yet we're supporting a war that we have no interest in. We're not going to get any oil like we thought we were going to do in Iraq and Iran. We didn't get no oil. Why is it that when Trump was in office, okay, oil was so available that you had barges of oil waiting in the oceans, okay, because they couldn't get rid of the oil. They had to pay to get it off their boats.
But the Democrats were ready to close it as soon as Trump got out. On the 30th of this month, there's something else happening. They can't wait until the 30th of March comes.
You know, so-
It's amazing. Everything that was going good, they didn't want it going good. They could have left the oil refineries, everything continued as it create your electric cars, create those windmills. But don't shut these things down until you have everything in a working order. Nah, they can't do
and
that.
that's not-
They hate Trump.
have you seen the oceans with all those windmills out there?
Yeah,
And by the, by the by the sea, they have all these windmills. You know what I'm saying? And when a storm comes through, what's gonna happen to those windmills?
yeah. But only the people that's looking at this little bit that we're talking about.
But you and I, we're not, they don't consider us to be problem solvers. We're just unhappy campers.
Mhm.
It's like our opinions don't count. Not even during elections, our opinions don't count. The media don't care about us. If the media had it their way, then they would be the only one, running the country. Maybe we should let the media run the
Well,
country.
the media will be, those that are honest reporters don't last in these news, as newscasters or what, they kick them out. Because they can't stand honest reports, and honest reports is not what they want, But you give it to one party the way they want it, and they'll keep everybody, they can make a nice cover up, from the Washington Post, from the Washington Times, from the Los Angeles Times, New York Times, Daily News. All the Daily News, there was one right there. The laptop from Joe's son. They called Trump a liar. They call him everything until they finally found out just this month or a couple of months ago, they opened it up and said, you know what? It was true.
Yeah, and again, the media still continues to say, oh no, there's racism. That's what they do, you know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, my view, Gene, it used to be that reporters would report the news and not make the news.
Yeah.
Okay. And also is that reporters would go out and they would look for stories. They would look for controversial stories to
Sure.
report. And nowadays, there's nothing controversial other than what they want to make controversial. They're doing their jobs. They're being told how to do their jobs. And who tell them how to do their jobs? The media people,
Yeah.
the uppers.
You know, for those
Everything
that are gonna viewing this right here, we're giving you enough in a big circle. We're not professional movie stars or news reporters, but we just talked about a lot of things in here that means that we know what a left and a right is. We know if we like
That's
someone or we don't,
right.
even if it's our own party. But you out there are being lured with a hook in your mouth because that's what one party wants to do. They want to take over your mind. They're doing that quite well because the minute we oppose or give our opinion on something that we don't believe in, all of a sudden we are racist. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Let me,
so funny. Wait a minute. But you
Hey,
enjoy being sucked in.
Yeah.
Simon and I are on here trying to relate to you that the parties are parties. He could be a
Yeah, but-
Democrat, I could be a Democrat. It doesn't matter. If I don't like a Democrat, I don't like him. If I don't like a Republican, I don't like them. I won't vote for them.
do you see,
But it seems that you have to be a team and go that direction. I don't understand it.
well, I'm gonna tell you something, Jay. Last year, last election, I think over $1 billion of money was collected.
Mhm.
Okay, and what was that money for?
$1 billion was collected from whom?
Between the two parties, okay, over $1 billion was collected.
I can't say anything because I don't know.
Okay, but do you know where that money goes? So these are donations that come in from politicians for the elections.
Okay.
You know where that money went to?
Where?
The same people that are now reporting all these lies, the media, the networks. Isn't it kind of ironic? The problem that we have is our own, it's generated by ourselves when we make donations and they take that money and they'll put ads on the television for hundreds and thousands of dollars. Okay?
Oh, of course. Of course.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we see, this is where the word "we" comes in. We are responsible for what's going on with the media because people donate monies. It ought to be that, hey, look, if you want to run for office at the local, the local office, the only money you can get are monies that come within a state.
9:43 p.m. Messages. 50
Sorry,
o'clock.
that's my phone. Keeping track of the time. 9 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying? But did you see the conflict there? The same people that were criticized for not telling the truth are the same people that are being paid to fulfill their agendas.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of crazy? It's like feeding termites, and then you let them out so they can go and eat your house away.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of hogs in this whole story.
No,
You know.
it's called pork. Yeah.
Yeah, the pork on the hogs are so heavy in fat that they don't think we exist. You see, they just keep on eating and eating and eating and eating, while the people wonder, what are you doing with us?
But you don't have them. See, you don't have a masses. There's no masses that. I mean, look, the last rally that took place, okay, in Washington D.C. They call it a resurrection. Oh, you got people exercising their rights, okay, but yet all the Portland and Washington State, they burn Seattle down. They burn all these cities down, right? And for
Mhm.
them, it was a peaceful demonstration. It all had to do with the party. What did the mayor say? Oh no, they're just exercising the First Amendment right. They took over the whole block, remember?
Yeah. Well, that goes with the illusion. That's what Trump, not Trump, but Biden did today when he was in Poland. You know, he started out with with Pope John II's prayer to the world for peace, and that's supposedly supposed to soften our hearts. And then there was the next step that he had two little kids over there in Poland or in Ukraine, close to the border, not so close, but he had two kids, and he said one kid says, you know, about their daddy and mommy, and you know, he picked one up. It's disgusting for staging stuff like that.
Hey, Gene, remember this, Gene. If you have peace, right, then people don't make money.
No,
It's only during war where people make money. You don't make, you don't collect, I mean, you don't make money when peace, because it's peace and everything, everybody's happy, everything's honky-dory, right? So you don't
but
make money
it's
during
right.
peace.
The media is quite rich today because of this war.
There has to be conflict. There has to be chaos.
Yeah,
Without those two things, you'll never have peace.
no,
Never.
no.
Until maybe for those that believe in the coming of Jesus Christ, maybe.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been reported somewhere that in the end, people that are dying, they always reach out to God. You know what? Because they don't want to take a chance that there is a God.
Well, you
You know
know,
what I'm saying?
we got to end this shortly here. So let me, whoever might be watching this, or if they care or not, you know, we really don't care what you think about how we feel. You know, we have our own thoughts, and this is our opinion. You know, we like to hear from you. You can always call my office at 315-986-7322, and I'm sure that you know, I'll answer the call and I'll give you a good response. I'm not going to yell at you. And Simon, it's the same way too. I can relate the message to him unless you want to give him a call. You want me to give him a number?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 979-716-8272. I mean, I'll be willing to discuss anything with anybody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, Simon didn't rewrite a book. He corrected a book. Okay. With the proper information on issues concerning the Department of Veterans Affairs and the rules of law, you know. So he's really good at that. And what we're saying tonight is that whatever you heard us say, it's just normal talk. It's just like we was out on a block, but we're telling you from our hearts. We're not making anything up, okay? But we are telling you that you can't be led by an organization just because that's your team. Hey, I like the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys screwed up, do something that I don't care for, that I think is bad. I can them. There's no reason. Why can't we all look at what our parties are like and be neutral instead of fight? Look at who they are.
Remember,
Look what they're sticking to us. Go ahead, Simon.
you know, it's a politician will tell you what they want you to hear.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? They'll go out there and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna look at the VA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going to improve the VA. How long
Yeah.
has the VA been around? In the 50s? Have
Yeah,
they improved anything?
Yeah.
They haven't improved anything. They made it worse. The more they try to change, the more that the worse it's gonna get.
It's like the
People
bonus
died.
march.
I think there's been more people died in the VA, in the hands of the VA than anywhere else. You know, what happened
Yeah.
to the people that died in Phoenix? The people that died in Pennsylvania, the people that died in Florida, and other places that we may not know of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are killing themselves in front of the VA. Why? Why would anybody want to go out there and shoot their brains out in front of the VA when they can do it at home?
To prove a point that look who I am and you're not doing nothing for me. I'm going to do it right here. So clean
Well,
up
yeah,
my mess.
I mean, They want to get attention. What do the VA do? Oh, he had mental health problems. See the way you brush things up under the carpet, and that's what they do.
Yeah,
But and we have a lot of problems, Gene, and I know you and I were passionate about our opinions, and again, these are just our opinions. But again, they're based on what we see. We're based on what we hear. We base our opinions based on what other veterans are saying and their concerns. They may not be willing to step up and express themselves, but you know what, Gene? Hey, I have no issue with that.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you the way it is.
yeah.
You know where I live, huh?
But here's a good part.
Anyway,
Listening to us and what we're saying, you might think we're nuts, but we're not, okay? You have 100, let's say veterans or 100 individuals in your neighborhood, and you want to accomplish something, and everybody is right there to say, yeah, this is what should be done, this is what should be done, and I think, you ought to do that. Then when you ask them, who's going to step up to the plate? All of a sudden, those 100 people or 50 people aren't there anymore. So you're standing with only yourself and maybe one other person. So to fight a fight, we can't just stand by ourselves. We got to stand as one. Because when we went to Vietnam, First World War, the Alamo and all this, we didn't fight with a bullet said left or right. We fought for a reason. Whether it was right or wrong, we fought for freedom. And that's so important to me. That's so important. The illusion of Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Independent Party is what's driving us up a tree. Close it with that, Simon.
you know what, Gene? One thing for sure, our discussion is unscripted.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't have any piece of paper in front of me saying what I'm going to say. This coming up from where I'm coming from in terms of how I see things. Okay. But again, right? There's no right. There's no wrong. You're expressing your opinions based on what you think. You know what I'm saying? Right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I'm saying? But people have a right to hear both sides and all sides. You know.
mhm.
But that's what I got for Gene. God bless America, and hope
But
that we're here. That we're going to be here for our next election.
yeah, take this little bit of ounce of information or advice. Whatever we said here is what's actually happening every day in your neighborhood, in your organization, wherever you work. And if you're going to stick by one party, no matter if they drive you to the ground, don't complain. You had a
Hey, Jim.
chance to make a decision.
One thing also, Jim, before we sign off, I see it this way. Okay, a person has to change their diapers. I mean, has to change their underwear at some point.
Sure.
Okay, if you don't change, what I'm saying is that don't stick with the same party because it fits you. Okay, if it starts to smell, it's time to change party.
What happened to wedgies, right? Okay, this is Operation Trying for Effect and Forgotten Word Project. We're just talking tonight here. Maybe sounds silly, maybe some good words came out of this. Take the good ones and listen to what your mind says. Don't get led by your nose because you love that party. Don't do that. There's other parties that is doing something a little bit better. If they fit your needs, that's where you go. But to say that yours is the only one, no, it's not. Remember, we need a good president. We don't need a pussy. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, Gene. I'll talk to you later, Gene.
You too.